context. In a world where the food supply chain has become more complex, any adverse food safety incident may have global negative effect on public health, trade, and the economy. This is according to the United Nations. So here's what we have done. We sent Roland Walker to one of Accra's markets to find out the condition in which foodstuffs are kept and sold to the general public. We went to Agbogboshi.
Food is one of the basic needs for human survival here on Earth. But how it is cultivated, kept, and even managed before consumption is important. For the World Food Safety Day, the Food and Agriculture Organization wants how food is kept, the way it's managed, to become everyone's business. Indeed, we should all be concerned. And that is why today we're at the Agbogboshi market to get to find out how the food that you eat on your table for dinner, for lunch, or for breakfast is treated and kept. Here at the Agbogboshi market, you get to find out. You can find all varieties. Let's say it could be onion like this one, tomato, or however you want to find any type of food in this market. Well, it's easy to locate Agbogboshi because it's one of the food hubs, if not the main food hub of the capital, Accra. But look, let me just draw you closer for you to see the state in which your food is kept. It's in the open for the fact. You would say that, well, food being in the open is nothing for you to worry about. But how this food is contaminated should be a concern for you and I. If you draw to I eat, would have to be kept under some of these conditions. Please come closer. Just take a look at the sanitary situation. You find your food. You get to find that it's not in a very good condition after all. If the camera should pan a little up, close by, is your neat packed onions that you use for your salad as a banker, as a broadcaster, perhaps even as the president of our republic at the Jubilee House. What do you think about it? The sanitary situation should be a concern for all of us. I would want to speak to some of these market women to try to know what they think about the state in which they keep the food before they sell. Well, I'm sure we'll all be speaking vernacular, but look, let me just the gentleman. No, okay.
My name is Habib.
Habib, yeah, where originally do you come from?
Yeah, I was born and bred here.
Oh, okay. Shukran.
And my mom too.
Okay.
My mom comes from the eastern region, precisely Korea Abitifi.
Sharp. So, but you are into business of trading onions?
Yes.
Where do you get the onions from?
Yeah, we have
Niger.
Yes.
Okay, so this one is from.
This one is we have both.
You make the two types.
Yes.
All from two different destinations or countries.
Yes.
But are you worried? For example, just close by us. You see the state.
Yes.
It's a worry for the Food Agriculture Organization because today is World Food Safety Day. The way we keep the food before we use it in cooking or the ingredient is important. Are you worried about the state in which we sell our food?
Yes, it's very bad. So the government and the AMA need to do something about it.
Why should it be the government and the AMA?
Yes. The AMA is one who locates us from here.
Okay.
They are the one who is taking everything from this market. So they need to do a proper job here. Onion require a lot of waste. Onion have a lot of waste. So they need to find to solve it. So if, let me say, anything waste about this onion to enter this gutter, it will choke.
Okay. Saying that because of the way onion is perishable, it usually will give off a lot of waste. You get a lot of bad ones, or even could be the leaves or whatever.
I'll show you, this is the bad ones.
This is one of the bad ones.
Yes.
And so where would you have thrown this one away?
This one, we don't throw it away. They use it for shito.
So the shito we've been taking, yes. That's how the onion is?
Yes.
Just hold on. Please, let's see The shit that we all salivate about. One of those malls that you don't know. This is the state in which it is. Look at this. Let me just help you. Come closer. This is very bad onion. For shit. This. Yuck! Yuck! Very bad onion. For shit. Smelly. Well, good friend once again to ask him, does he know where originally they produce the onions from, or how they are transported, and whether they are transported in the best hygienic situations? My brother, this one, well, education for all of us. What would you want? Would you want that maybe AMA and the sanitary companies, maybe one is dedicated here, they come to clean the gutters for you so that we all would enjoy good onions?
Yeah, maybe that's one we probably okay. Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Do you think that we have a mall? Let's say you go to Accra Mall, you see the way Accra Mall is. Do you think that if you sell onions there, we can afford them?
Yes, we can afford it.
Well,
we can afford it.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. You know, the Food and Agriculture Organization thinks that you and I should be concerned about not the food that we eat alone, but the food stuff and even the agricultural produce, the state in which we keep them before we use them preparing food. Do you think it's important? Why?
Oh, you need sanitation is very good. It's good about our health and everything. So we need to take proper care of our market.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's very true. So anytime you enter in a market, we don't have proper sanitation. If we don't have water problem, it will be sanitary problem. So we need to tackle that thing. That will help us a lot.
What's your name again?
My name is Habib.
Habib. Shukran. Well, I've loved the conversation with Habib, but Habib is in business. He wants the situation improved. He's only a seller, somebody who trades in onion, makes his money, but he says that he can't just keep the market clean all the time, all by himself, because the market at Agbogloshi market is in the center of Accra, the city of Accra, and so city authorities should be concerned about the foodstuff that we buy. Let me just do one more. Take a look at this. Right. But it's not all bad and difficult when it comes to food. Some of them are in good condition. It's food. It's good onions and quality as they are. So this is the onion market, as well as straight out from here. The next sell some other food items, could be tomatoes or wherever. Stay on. We have Sustainable Development Goals. Goals 2 and 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals says that it's not enough for you to just have food. Indeed, that they achieve those 2 goals in that level, in that direction. Yeah, no, we're just cracked tomatoes, for example. Tomatoes. Some bought by consumers for you and I. Just think about it. The state in which these tomatoes are kept, indeed, all other food items in the market of Agbogloshi should be of concern to you and I. It's not enough for you to sit in the banquet hall and for lunch you brought food and you don't know how the items that we use to prepare the food were kept. Well, I have my sweet old lady here. I'll call her to her. Fantastic. What are your friends saying? I'm asking her name. Oh, Nyari say you man and you man to sing. And you got to sing. What did him yes, so I asked her how the trade or market was today, and she said it was not good. Look, don't worry, all market women, all those who sell or retail these foodstuffs always say that in the market. But in Siciano, tomatoes na ya mo fan away.
We free tachima.
Tachima kwanso. Enti omo boabo no ahe na mo to no sen.
Ye na ye nko kwanso. Ye na ye to adaka no ha na ye yi.
Adaka na ya.
Ye to adaka no ha na ye yi yo ye.
Say mo to adaka no ahe.
They 5.5
million OCD. 505 Ghana. 550.
As ye ton is no better no number.
Okay. So I asked her how much they buy. She says that she doesn't go and bring the tomato from inside the bush or the farming area. So she will go and buy from somebody who may have transported the food product or the food produce right here. It's at the cost of 550 Ghana cedis. That's relatively, she'll say, expensive. But I want to ask her, why is it that the state of the market and the state of the tomatoes are like this? Now, food Minister of Food and Agriculture and buying penny for ne FA4. Omudi debi da omudi no say nnuane a yeton nyina no ese yeton a ye te say ye de hyedwa ese ye hwese ayese se ne site wo mall so ni mall no wo hwa ye betimi eduru ho ana se nnuane a ye beto ye bekata so na ye nya mframa na ye nya got ebiebie na
ya de ase ya kwa hunti no edimi nyanze more no just ya de ya te kwa hu e butura ye boye gota edimi nyase wo
na say eya nso ana ehu kakra o say ade yedi benu aduane na ehwan ye fina na tie ne mframa nyina
enyi baby papa shedwanti kwa hu sala de betana shedwe.
So they don't have a good place to sell their wares, she says, and they have no choice than to sell besides the open gutter. And she say, "Munyaya ya besha pata fine, nanka ya kata ho ye di
nyanka kwen asem futuro mo yesa. Aya kwen futuro na mo yesa.
Nti nya papa say na ya ho na eto.
Oh, paso mo ye aduane no.
Omo timi no ano. Mani yesheshe.
Omo aduane no.
Na omo no aduane wo fie nso ya say obi ne family no.
Oh, obi timi to. Okwa be horo ho obi wo be se fridge, obi so be blend. No wayo.
They be blend it on. So they'll buy it like this. Sometimes they can buy it like this and go and blend, she says. And she believes that once you boil it, you're good to go. But that's how it is. Okay. And Siciano, we know Obi Antoe, na say ya oyen gen.
Yeah, too good. Yeah, too good. At the good rubber bag. The moon so trying to makaya bola. And so no be bra kabola onfa.
Yeah, that's it. And so she says that, well, they have to keep it this way because they have no choice. And when it's kept this way and ultimately goes bad, they have no choice than wrap it up and then throw it away to the bin somewhere. But if you get closer, you get to find there's fish here. Some fish. See fish, you come closer, gutter here. So this is a gutter. If you look at whatever is in this gutter, you'll find everything. I see ice cool, sachet, wrappers, I see Storm Energy, I see all of them, all of the energy drinks containers around here. But it also shows the state of our markets. And if you look at some of the best literature about food safety, it's not only about the phytosanitary conditions of the food that are brought onto the market that is important. That is also for the consumer, but also the state in which the food is kept. And if you listen to many of these market women, they would want something to be done about the state of their markets, what they sell, how they sell it, how they intend disposing of what goes back, etc. my sweet lady here. And you get to find out, oh, let's look closer. You see the condition. I mean, we've all eaten food, and we know that the states in which we ate, the conditions of the ingredient that we're using in preparing the food will be bad. But we have no choice. Abinchi is abinchi. Ma, it's saying.
Bache,
My pacho bet ma ba wenim kakra. Your friend saying.
maybe antipat.
Antipat. My say oton. Where friend saying. Kantose. When you didn't know Ben. Mojedro. Wanna catch a war.
Say him, say Mojedro, but I'm on for some.
And we say, Abe. Oh, so we dear Yanim. Okra. Nkruma. Okay, so, but the thing is that the conditions under which all of them sell is not the best. She's selling what she calls Kantose, Wubedro, and I'm going to say, Wubedro, and then okro, Nkruma, battery. But I want, mommy follow, mommy. So I would want to ask Auntie Pat, how she feels about selling in a very unhygienic condition. Auntie Pat, you say you're now to Nina, no, market pia, baby, I told you an once Nanyama, a how?
Yes, some papa. Now, over Kanawa Canada, and so I'm on for Baha Papa. See, yes, no, dear idea that was a slab on Besha, my ye quine no, ni bola no. And near man, Hanyana, and near ma, Adriana, ye dini funny, and a Baha. And penny 4 years musu baba. Omo to me say acheche no basa omo she kambu. No mo nemu. I know the who I am pa.
Okay, so let me do a little translation of what she said. She says that the state of the market is a worry not only for her but all of her colleagues who are selling at the market. It's not only a concern for her colleagues but even for those who come to patronize. And she tells me that even some of the big people that we see in our society, apparently they also come and shop here, Agbogloshi. And when they come here, and especially when it rains and the place is muddy, they still wear their nice kamboos, etc., and still walk in the mud and come and buy. But let me ask Auntie Pat, Osha a DNS a buying a yawo, Osha baby Mudiga, Nas Mushega, Nisanya Manina.
Dear here, ni se obey your quine na my na fi bola no. Wape ni bia be sisi ha maye na ya tams no bola no yafa because say so no tokra na gota ni yema bola no tata kwan mu na ye yi sa na ye hu ba bia de begu na ye sa de agu kwan mu anti from afa na sa ba gota ni mu.
So she's saying that anytime it rains they have no choice than to sweep and make sure that they are able to heap the waste somewhere, but because sometimes we don't have the waste companies coming to collect the waste quickly. Anytime it rains, it just slides back into the gutter. And so that's where you find it. And I can tell you, this gutter, up to where she's selling, is not too far off. It's my feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of my foot here. So you can imagine the states of the food stuff that is used for cooking for you. Well, what else do we have to say? We'll just pan the camera around for you to see the state of the Agbogloshi market. All sorts of conditions, most of them unhygienic, that you can find here at the Agbogloshi market. The quest to ensure that we have food that is well kept, but also the food stuff that is used to prepare that food, how it's kept, how it's preserved, should always be a reasonable objective for anybody who wants to consume the food. That's our message for World Food Safety Day. we also need to continue the conversation. And we know that we have institutions that do the regulation. And we decided to bring on today's special edition of the show, focusing also on World Food Safety Day, the Food and Drugs Authority. We have Maria Lovelace Johnson. She is the Chief Regulatory Officer and Head for the Food Enforcement Department of the Food and Drugs Authority. She's here. Maria, good morning.
Good morning.
That's lovely. And I went to the market yesterday. Of course, we're used to the market. Where usually would you shop for your foodstuff or food usually? Which of the markets?
Anywhere, actually. Anywhere.
I love your answer. You've been well schooled in communication. But usually when it comes to the theme, especially the role of the FDA in relation to making sure the food that we consume and giving the value chain along which we produce, etc., what would be the role of the FDA in this?
Well, FDA's mandate is to ensure that all food that is locally manufactured, imported, distributed, sold in Ghana is safe and of good quality. So that is our mandate, and we do that to ensure public health and safety. So it's everything about food. But having said that, we do it in collaboration with other agencies. So when it comes to meat products, we have the Veterinary Services Department of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. When it comes to marketplaces, we do it in collaboration with the Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies. We have the environmental health officers there. And when it comes to plants, as in products, we have the PPRSD of Ministry of Food and Agriculture as well. And so we do it in collaboration with many agencies of the states.
I guess that's why yesterday when I went to the market, the related agencies that would come to mind for many of the retailers there and the market women were the metropolitan agencies or the municipal or district assemblies. But in doing that, how do we make sure that it all comes to a head, that the right things are being done by way of the coordination and the regulation?
Well, we collaborate a lot, and actually we have a policy that's coming up, the food safety policy. We've been working on that for a while, and that will even get us to collaborate even better. But then we do a lot of collaboration. When it gets to any commodity, we know that when it's this area, we need to, because our law mandates us to. You know, the Food and Drugs Authority operates with the Public Health Act 851 of 2012, and it insists that we need to collaborate with some agencies of states, especially the Metropolitan, Municipal and District Assemblies, to ensure that we achieve our goal.
Are you worried about the state of our market and the state of food that is sold, especially raw food stuff?
Yes, we are, and we've been working on it. We haven't just been sitting down. We've been working on it since time immemorial. We've been educating them a lot and letting them appreciate food safety. Sometimes it's not just all about enforcement. If we just do enforcement all the time, then we may not even achieve much, because you cannot be everywhere 24 hours, 7 days of the month, of the week. Otherwise, if you just do enforcement and do not do public education and sensitization of the sellers themselves and even the consumers, then when you are coming, they will say, hey, FDA, I'll buy. Then they will just take their wares away. You know, it isn't much. They just have a small table and all that. They'll just go away. And as soon as FDA is not there, they will come back. So we do a lot of public education, a lot of sensitization, even the consumers, because some of these things are even consumer driven. If the consumer knows very well that I do not have to buy something close to an open drain or a very filthy place, then the consumer will tell the seller, I'm not buying this because of ABC. Yeah. And the seller knows if the consumer will not buy, then what's the point in doing business? So we do a lot of public education in that regard. And
especially for this year's theme, the UN wants the focus to be on all of us, as being inclusive in making sure that we have that sense of responsibility. Exactly. That also dovetails into having some form of behavioral change along everybody who gets into contact with whatever food or food product along the value chain. But that would mean that bringing on board every institution or having an institutional framework that will make it work.
Yes.
How can we achieve that?
And that's why I said we even have the food safety policy coming up, and hopefully by the close of the year the food safety policy should be very complete, and we will do an all-inclusive thing. And so all the agencies that really matter in this, we know ourselves, we work together, but we need a policy to back us. So the food safety policy, we've really gotten to, almost everything is done. It's just a bit of bureaucratic things that have to be done to get it in place. So we're really working on that. And for us, we are really collaborating with all those that have to collaborate with us. And very soon you'll see a very clean environment and every food will be safe. But having said that, we need to ensure that the consumer knows that it is a shared responsibility.
Yesterday I was having some interaction in the evening with somebody who works with an NGO in health, and he was skeptical about policy implementation. And here you are telling me about an impending policy that should be completed by way of the formulation process, etc. And then implementation. We don't have to look forward to it. But we know that in our country, it's always a cliche, right? That maybe the institution and policy implementation.
Even the implementation plan is ready. The implementation plan is ready, and we can. And actually, there are things we are all already doing, and bits and pieces. So we just want to put them together. So it's not really going to be a new thing, and now you're looking out for how do you implement it. We are really doing it. It's just that we are not backed by a certain policy, but it's something we do from day to day. We are doing it actually, but we just need the legal backing to show that this is it. But the implementation plan is even ready. A 5-year plan is ready, and we are all set.
Does it mean that apart from what we sell and what comes in secondary on the market, you're also having some form of supervisory hands on the phytosanitary aspect of how food is prepared, what sort of chemicals that the plants are using?
Yes, very much so, very much so. And
so you work with farmer groups?
Then again, it comes back to collaboration with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. They have their extension officers who really school the people and guide them as to how they're going to apply the pesticides and all that. So they do that bit of it. So that's why we need the collaboration. So the farmer groups is the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. You know, they have extension officers everywhere, and they do that bit of work. So having done that, then when the products come, we look at it at the residue levels. Has it exceeded the maximum residue limits? Because we have residue limits for every product, and we look at that. So we have what we call HACCP, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points, and all it's really, in a nutshell, it's food safety from farm to fork. Or since we like eating with our fingers, that is farm to fingers or to your table.
Okay.
So food safety at every level. So everybody has a part to play. So even at the point where it gets to your fingers, is the consumer's rule to ensure that you wash your hands very well, so that that food haven't got into your table will not even be contaminated.
Ghana is developing, so we've seen the emergence of the malls, and so for the first time, at least those who are privileged enough, for those who live in the bigger cities or the metropolitan areas, get to know how food could be kept in a very hygienic and conditioned manner. So we have them in good sacks, you know, at the malls. And can we ever aspire? Can we ever see a time when we're going to have an airy but well-ventilated marketplace in which we're not going to have a lot of dust and all that?
We have that on the drawing table as well. We have
drawing table.
Yes, healthy food markets. You know, it doesn't even have to be a mall. Even out there, there can be a canopy, and then some stepwise graded thing. A wooden table, you know, that other people are doing it. People are doing it. When you drive around Osu, Ari, and all that.
37, you can find around where the shelves.
So we want more people to get into that. So we actually educate, and over the years, you see that there are more people doing that. We have been educating them to do it's bits and pieces actually, and we do it gradually because a lot of people really attitudinal change is an issue. They think that really when we put it on the floor, that's okay. And even the consumer's perception, a consumer would rather, thank you, and the consumer would rather go for that and say, oh, once it's sprawled there, it shows that the person really wants to get rid of it and the person is not sophisticated. If I put it there, up there, then that's sophistication, and the consumer may not even go and buy that. So we need to even the behavioral change thing and all that, we need to get into that, and we are doing that gradually. So as you just said, there are more people selling on tables and more people not having it. Either two, we have every foodstuff on the floor. Now we have more lifted up, telling them that there is even a law, the AMA or the Metropolitan Assemblies, they have a bylaw, yes, that you do not even have to sell on the floor. But we do. Yes, but you see, this is where if they do and they are coming, everybody will run away because they know they're not doing the right thing. Exactly. So it's not so much about enforcement, it's about public education, sensitization, for them to know the consequences of their actions. And I guess that's what the theme is talking about this year, the FAO's theme on food safety. Yes. But if we have to bring the conversation to a head, then we could give ourselves some timelines and say that maybe perhaps we could realize this by the next 30 years or 40 years. Oh, isn't that too long? Well, you tell me, you are the FDA. 30, 40 is too long. I wouldn't really want to give a time for you to just say, well, I've given this time. But we are working on it. We are working on it. We are working assiduously as to, so as to ensure that this will come to an end. And then you see safe food everywhere. But then we need your contribution, especially as the media, because when you talk, people listen. And when you say one, everybody hears, you see. And since we can't be everywhere all the time, if you help us educate the public, for them to know the consequences of their actions. They are good people, they will do the right thing, but it's all because of ignorance. Some are ignorant, they don't see, and their attitude has to change. The typical Ghanaian thinks that, well, African gems don't kill. The one who brought, I mean, they make jokes out of it, but for us, there are no jokes, actually. The one who brought hygiene, it was the Bolaka that killed the person. You know, and then they are immune. I mean, we have African immunity, and that is bad. So we need you to help us. It made me have a good laugh. Anyway, so we wish you all the best. Are you having some your own internal events to mark the day? Yeah, we're having a symposium today just to tell everybody about the World Food Day. We are marking the day. This is the first ever World Food Safety Day. And so we're really marking it in a grand way and letting people know about food safety. Because we want food safety to be part and parcel of everybody's life. It sounds alien to people. Yeah. So what we started over the years, in the last 10 years, is we even let people know in their primary schools so that we inculcate it in the youth, so that will be part and parcel of them. Wow, I've enjoyed the conversation. We also had some good times with the market women at Agbogloshi, and we brought you all that. But the FDA climaxed the discussion for us in the studio, and we've had Madam Maria Lovelace Johnson. She is Chief Regulatory Officer and the head for the Food Enforcement Department of the Food and Drugs Authority. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best for the day. Thank you. Your planes were not taken by the rains, were you? No. The rains didn't affect you coming here? All right, definitely. Wish you the best for the day.